My Ghostwriter presents The Dance of Realities. Table of Contents, Chapter 1, Chapter 1, Shadows and Whispers, Chapter 2, The Passage to Elandria, Chapter 3, Threads of Destiny, Chapter 4, Crossroads of Choice, Chapter 1, Shadows and Whispers. The city lay under a perpetual steel-gray sky, each street a thread woven tightly into the monotonous tapestry of controlled existence. In this grid of order and precision, Alara moved like a ghost, her steps measured, her gaze lowered, her life a quiet rebellion against the orchestrated symphony that governed them all. She was a meticulous player in the game of compliance, yet beneath her composed exterior simmered an untamed thirst for something more, a reality that quivered just beyond the mundane. The oppressive architecture loomed around her, stark and relentless, its presence carving invisible paths that guided each citizen through a prescribed routine. Yet to Alara, these edifices were not merely slabs of concrete and steel. They were sentinels of a silent oppression, whispering echoes of untold stories. The very same stories that danced at the edges of her vision, elusive shadows flickering in the periphery of her reality. In this world, where deviation was met with suspicion, Alara harbored a precious secret. Her sight was not limited to the mere physical. It extended into realms unacknowledged, granting her glimpses of shadows others dared not perceive. These shadows were both companions and conspirators, waltzing alongside her unnoticed by her peers, feeding her curiosity and her sense of alienation. Alara's nights were awash with dreams, vivid enough to brighten the grayscale reality of her waking hours. When she closed her eyes, landscapes unfurled, vast and resplendent, painted with colors her eyes had never truly known. Rivers that shimmered like liquid silver and forests whispered ancient songs only she seemed to decipher. These dreams were not mere escapism. They were clarion calls to her restless spirit, urging her to transcend the confines of her existence and step into the unknown. Yet these dreams bore the weight of a curse. Each vivid vision, a tapestry of colors and sounds, set her apart, deepening the chasm between herself and the reality she inhabited. She found herself adrift in two worlds, one dictated by logic and law, the other pulsating with magic that defied understanding. As weeks turned into months, her yearning grew, an intangible thread tugging relentlessly at the fabric of her soul. The streets bustled around Alara, people moving with mechanical precision, their expressions devoid of wonder or delight. The city held its breath, suffocated by its own need for control. Alara felt a twinge of sympathy for her world, for all it failed to see and feel, yet her longing was irrepressible. Whispers filled her mind, not from her surroundings, but from deep within. They were the lure of things whispered in shadows, the stories untold, the songs unsung. As she traversed her familiar pathways, Alara knew with an unshakable certainty that somewhere beyond the imposing walls, a different kind of life awaited. She clung to the fleeting comfort that these whispers provided, fueling her hope with their promises of discovery and liberation. It was a hope born of shadows and whispers, but it was hers, and it set her spirit alight like a lantern in the encroaching dark. Little did she know, the whispers were guiding her toward an uncharted destiny where reality was but a dance she was destined to lead. Chapter 2. The Passage to Elandria. The city's catacombs were a maze of forgotten passageways and echoing secrets, an intricate web beneath the indifferent streets that held the pulse of ancient mysteries. Alara's heart thudded in harmony with each step as she descended into the underbelly, drawn by an intuitive pull she couldn't quite articulate. She had wandered here many times before, seeking the solace of isolation and the hum of history that seemed to vibrate through the very stones beneath her feet. This day was different. The shadows that accompanied her murmured with a new urgency,